Well, it's very strange, but there was I woke up on a Sunday morning in 1987 with a poem almost fully formed, which I wrote down. And oddly enough, and I called it Psalm of Resolution. It was sort of the first pointing in the direction of resolution for me. And it really it's hard to explain, but there's rumors in our family of Native American or history, Cherokee. I haven't been able to find that genealogically. But the Psalm of Resolution had to do with sort of merging black and white and becoming red, if that makes any sense at all. And Native American mythology figured into this because in my understanding of Native American culture, head and heart are not separated, and earth and humans are not separated, and there's a unity. And so I began to get interested in Native American creation myths, where unlike Judeo-Christian myths, where it's mostly about people and other beings, animals and so forth, are just a backdrop. You know, Jonah and the whale. The whale is the backdrop for Jonah. You know, the insects, the frogs, the fish, the ant people, the buffalo people, and the humans are all part of this fabric of life. And that was about the time that I began to think about this course, From Black Elk to Black Holes, Shaping a Myth for New Millennium. And I was just fantasizing about it at that point, because this was actually before I started at JMU. But the idea was to look at the universe from two vastly different perspectives, from a mythological perspective on the one hand, which is very intuitive, and then from a scientific perspective on the other, and then to see if we could make a connection. And I didn't want to go a traditional spiritual route for lots of reasons, because then, you know, once you're off into the domain of religion, then there's all the debates about whose religion is best. But people don't fight over mythology, because we don't assume that myths are true necessarily. And I thought, well, Native American mythology will take the students to a place that they haven't been before. And then, when I got permission to teach this class and it was about to come to fruition, I thought, oh my God, what have I done? I have no idea how to teach a class like this. I'm a math teacher. Mathematics is cut and dry. But one of the neat things that happened is the students picked up on the fact that this was not a done deal, you know, that we were on an exploration together. And I wasn't sure whether we could actually bring these pieces together. And a lot of serendipity happened. And one of the things that happened is we had 4 group discussions. And the first part of the course was about Black Elk, from the book Black Elk Speaks, the story of a Lakota holy man. And then we went from there to a scientific topic. And then it was the first time to have a discussion that might bridge that gap. And 2 weeks before, I'd gotten in the mail the Noetic Sciences journal, and it had this article by Richard Tarnas in it called The Great Initiation. And it was the absolute perfect framework for trying to do the reconciliation. And in this article, Tarnas talks about the two competing meta-narratives that Westerners, primarily Westerners, face. One is the myth of heroic progress, and that's rooted in science, and science is going to make life better and better. And the other one is the myth of the fall, that we've lost our way and we've fallen from grace, and we've desacralized nature. And he says that these two myths are really the flip sides of the same coin. And that our heroic progress through science has come at a cost, and that cost is a loss of grounding and a loss of connection with the earth. And the Great Initiation is the process not of going back, but of going forward by grieving what has been lost and reclaiming what we need to reclaim. And I see you and Zaya and Maurizio as really on the forefront of making it, of that reconciliation process and that restoration process of we continue to evolve. We don't go back. We can't go back. Evolution marches forward. But we need to acknowledge what we've lost and to grieve that. And with that grieving will come some healing and the chance to reconcile the two meta-narratives, science and spirituality, head and heart,